Hi, I'm Dusty Davidson, owner of Showtime Travel Agency, a dream vacations franchise located here in Dallas, Texas. Welcome. We are trying something new here. We had a couple of virtual cruise nights recently, and a lot of people are saying, hey, you know what? You need to start a podcast. Unlike most people, I don't like the sound of my voice when I hear it recorded, and I don't like the way I look on screen either. You know, that extra 10 pounds, we're going to call it 20 though, that the camera gives you. And so I decided, well, maybe that's not the best idea. And particularly right now with COVID, there's not enough going on in travel to really fill up a 30-minute podcast on a weekly basis. So what I thought I would do is, until the vaccine's further rolled out and the world opens up again and we're cruising, is I would deal with some smaller items and smaller things to talk about. And so maybe give you some updates on things, news briefs as exciting things happen, and then look at some really cool itineraries to keep you dreaming about your next memorable vacation. And when we're in a better spot and I'm more comfortable with it, we might revisit the podcast idea again. So in the meantime, we're going to try and keep it shorter and sweeter. So the first thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about today is 5 reasons to book a cruise now. Now you may be kind of surprised by that, particularly since January 12th, Royal Caribbean, which is Royal Caribbean, Azamara, and Celebrity, all joined Holland America, Princess, and other cruise lines in voluntary suspension of services through the end of April, and for some ships and itineraries even further into 2021. So why would you need to worry about booking cruises now if we're not sailing? Well, here are the top 5 reasons. Number 1, limited availability. When cruises begin sailing, they're going to have fewer itineraries available and options for you. And so that means less passengers will be able to cruise. In addition, a lot of people who are already booked on these ships and on these itineraries, as well as all these people that have rescheduled their cruises from 2020 because they couldn't go to 2021 and even into 2022. If ships are not sailing at full capacity and you already have that number of people, double the number normally that you would have in a year, booking cruises, there's not going to be anything available, particularly for those preferred cabins that everybody wants. The second reason is for better pricing. You know, the further out you book, the better the prices are going to be. It's a myth that you can get the lowest fares if you wait until just before the cruise. It is exceedingly rare that that ever happens. There's also a rumor that cruising will have rock bottom prices when it returns. But again, due to the demand and supply, that's really not going to happen. The pricing is only going to go up for the next 2 to 3 years until everything kind of levels out again. So instead of dropping prices, many cruise lines right now are adding extra perks to add value to the price that you're paying, like prepaid gratuities, onboard spending, and things like that. So it is better to book now because those things will be dropped off later on the closer you get to sailing. And if you book now, there's always the option too, particularly if you go through a travel agent, if you haven't made final payment yet, if a lower price does come up, that can be adjusted in most cases. So that's something else to think about. So you're not always locked into the higher price if a lower price does come along. The third reason is it's just going to give you something to look forward to. 2020 year was a horrible year for most people, and 2021 is kind of a rough start. So, wouldn't it be nice after being housebound for all this time with the kids home and all the chaos and everything that's going on, trying to, work from home, but also teach from home. And then, this week we're going to school, this week we're not going to school. This week restaurants are open, this week restaurants are not open. With all of that going on, wouldn't it be nice to have just something to look forward to? A break from all of that madness. So now's the time to go ahead and start planning for that vacation and have something to look forward to. The fourth reason is flexible cancellation policies. Right now, the cruise lines are being very, very flexible in their cancellation policies. Right now, there's some that you can wait until 48 hours before departure to cancel, and there is no penalty for that. Now, as we get closer to the sale dates and further into 2021, that may change. But if you want to go in July and things are kind of looking sketchy in June, still you're not sure. Depending on the cruise line and the cruise that you booked, you could cancel that and not have any penalties for it. The final reason I want to give you to go ahead and start booking cruises now and booking vacations in general is to help support small business. If you book through a travel agent, which right now everyone is suggesting that with COVID and with all the changes and insurance and travel protection policies are all changing, it's hard to keep up with all that. So it's really important to book through a travel agent right now. And I would suggest that under any circumstance. So, but it helps support small business. Travel agents only get paid when the client travels. So all of the travel agents right now are not getting paid. And so they've suffered a lot during the last year with the cancellation of cruises, hotels being locked down, not being able to get out of the country. So it's really, really been a hard year for travel agents as well. But the travel agent, you're going to get personalized service, somebody who's going to be there to back you up, and you'll be supporting your local economy and small business. So those are the top 5 reasons for booking a cruise right now. There are several others that we could get into, but I just want to keep it short or sweet today. So I'm happy to receive any feedback that you want to give, or if you have questions, just drop those in the comments below, and we can get back for those. Even if you have suggestions for future things you want to hear information on, drop those in, and I'll be happy to address those. We also want to ask you to subscribe to the YouTube channel and our Facebook page. That helps us as a small business. And then just stay safe, and let's keep dreaming of travel.